Hello, everybody out there, all you fellow TPTers. It is time for Learn with Mr. Lewis. It's time for my latest income report. You might notice that the way I'm sitting is a little odd. Well, there is a purpose for this. I'm off to the side because there is a space right here for a special guest, the most special of all guests. It's Mrs. Lewis, because today it's not just Learn with Mr. Lewis, it's Learn with the Lewises.
I am only here because this is your 1 year anniversary as a TPT seller. Otherwise, I am way more comfortable behind the camera.
Okay, so she may be more comfortable behind the camera, but let's face it, she's the eye candy of Learn with Mr. Lewis, and you're probably sitting there thinking, why isn't she the one that's always on camera? Well, it is what it is. Okay, so yes, today we are going to be looking at, what are we looking at today? I have to ask her because she's the one who actually knows what's going on. I just make the products and put them up there. She does all the other stuff.
He does the thinking stuff.
Well, your stuff is thinking too.
You today are going to be sharing your income report from July of 2024, as well as this year as a whole, the only reason I'm here.
That's right. So we're looking at the whole year. Let me tell you a few things about me. So I am a middle school social studies teacher in Arizona. I just started. Yes, school has already started here. August 1st, I started school, my 24th year of teaching social studies, and it's been amazing, of course. And of course, this last year, finally, I've got my TPT store going. It's something I've thought about for several years, and hey, finally doing it. So I am teaching full time while I'm doing this store, and also full-time YouTubing, which is a whole other thing. That was all her idea. All of this is her idea.
I'm full of them.
Yes. Okay, so what are we doing today?
I already told them what we're doing.
Oh, yeah. What are we doing?
We're doing your July 2024 income report and the whole year.
That's right. That's right. See, this is why I need to have her here, because I'm lost without a map. So I started my TPT store in mid-July of 2024. So this means getting through July makes it my 12th full month on TPT. And you can see any previous income reports. I do them once a month. And you can see those up in the top right now, or down in the description. All right, so this month was definitely better than I expected, especially since it's summer. And unless you're teaching summer school, most people are not in school in July, although there are districts here in Arizona and maybe some other places that start in July. I noticed that my district next year, we start July 31st. That's going to be a whole, like mentality-wise, that's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a struggle. All right, so what else happened?
Well, we didn't have too many cha-chings. So
Right.
I did miss those cha-chings coming in.
Right, because those little like daily sort of things,
Yeah, like
the
video
video guides,
guides,
right?
yeah.
Those come in more frequently. I don't make a lot of money off of them, but I didn't sell a lot of that kind of stuff, but I did sell more of the bigger
it's gonna
stuff.
be interesting. Your followers increased. You got 6 more followers, up to 77. 2 more reviews, so we'll go over those. Summertime reviews. That was fun.
True.
Your store has currently 128 products.
It does. So that's up a little bit because I think I made a bundle or 2 in July that I didn't have before. Did I? Is that what I did?
Something.
Or it might have been the end of June.
That's your.
I don't remember.
That's your domain.
I don't remember. But recently. So I don't remember whether it was 128 last month or not, but it was close to that.
Well, let's give the people what they want. Let's get into the numbers.
All right, let's do it. So we're going to look at July 1st, and then we'll move in and look at the year as a whole. All right, so let's start off by looking at the ranking. Now, this is a relatively new feature on TPT. It allows you to see what your percentile rank is compared to other sellers who sold something that month. Okay, so this is technically looking at June's data because they don't release it till around the 5th or so of the month, and I'm filming this a couple of days into August. And so not soon enough to be able to show what July's numbers were, but June was actually pretty decent. I was in the 93rd percentile, which puts me at like store number 4,892. So
Yeah, I mean, you've always stayed in the 90s, which is as well since they've been doing this. So that's
Right.
really, I think the lowest you dropped was like 91st. So that's been pretty good. So I'll see. I'll be interested to see how the rest of the months go.
for sure. All right, so let's take a look at views for the month of July. So how many views did my store get? And as you can see, not what it would usually be, but I guess that's not a big surprise. How many views were there?
There were 372 views. You average about 862 if we look at all your months. So yeah, definitely below average. But it was the summer. I hope teachers were going and having a fun time and not looking at your TPT store. Sorry.
No, I want them looking at the. You should not say that. That's poor sales.
Talk about, so there is that weird, why did you, till you got more last year? I think, and maybe, I don't know, that was probably you just setting up the store, looking at it.
I think so, because I was in on there looking at the products all the time, making little tweaks to them, those few products I had up. And so the fact that the views were down, I wonder how many of those 422 views from last year were just me. Probably most of them. All right, so let's jump into units sold. What did I sell this month? Well, let's see. Unit-wise was definitely better than last year. Of course, last year, July, it was mid-July that I got the store up, and I was surprised I had any sales in July, really. And I did sell 18 things last year.
Good. That's more than I remember it being.
I mean, they weren't very high-priced things. I didn't really have a bundle yet until maybe, I don't remember when I put that bundle up, but it might have made it in by the end of July, but I don't think I sold any bundles in July, if I remember right. So anyway, this year, of course, different. I had more than twice as many sales with 40. And this is, of course, below my average. Normally, I'm around 94 sales per month. But again, everything I sold was at least somewhat higher dollar. Most of what I sold was higher dollar stuff. And so that's going to make up for that for sure.
Yeah, I did some math. So your average price per product for your store, like that you've done like up until this point, is about $3.34.
Okay.
Well, last month, your average price per product sold was $11.93.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
So that speaks to, like we talked about, the power of bundles, right?
Yeah, bundles are the way to go for sure. If you can find a way to bundle similar items together, people like to feel like they're getting a deal, and they are. But, I mean, we're all that way, right? I mean, I'm more likely to buy a six-pack of soda than to buy a single soda because It's going to save me some money per can, right?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so let's look at our monthly conversion rate for July 2024. And conversions were still pretty good. I'm always hoping to be in double digits, and as you can see, 11%. A lot better than last year. And again, I think a lot of that was what we were talking about before.
You setting it up.
Yeah, that it was probably so many of those views were just me, and maybe not. Maybe that's wishful thinking. Maybe people just didn't want my stuff last year.
Well, I sat and looked at like, okay, what was your conversion rate over the last 6 months? And it was 13%. I mean, it's been high. And 11% summer months, I think that's still really good.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I like I said, if I'm in double digits, I think I'm doing well. For sure. I said sure a lot. All right, so now what you've been waiting for to find out, we've teased it a little bit, probably teased it enough. What were my earnings in July 2024? And, let's face it, Mrs. Lewis is the biggest part of this channel, so I'm going to let her do the big reveal.
It's a good one. Oh my goodness. It was $477.36. We were so surprised. Every time it just kept getting higher and higher, we were like, what is going on? We did not expect it. We've seen other channels and kind of figured out that, they're pretty slow months. But no, definitely you can see a lot more happened at the end of the month than at the beginning of the month. We did have 12 days with no sales. So we did have that. The highest earning date was our highest earning date ever. It was $67.67. But spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert is already a couple of days into August. I've beaten that.
Yeah.
So the trend has continued to be strong, which is, I mean, it really is humbling to me. I didn't expect to get 10 times, make 10 times as much money in July as I did. Now, again, last year I was just getting going. It was just a half a month. This ended up being isn't this my second highest month?
Yeah.
Second highest month ever, which it's July. I do realize that a lot of my products really are geared towards something that you would start at the beginning of the year. So I think that might factor into all of this. I hope that doesn't mean that I'm going to trend downward too much for the rest of the year after these, first couple of months. But I'm just thrilled and really humbled by all of it.
Yeah.
It's so unexpected to have done that well.
It was great. We started looking at those $50 days. So thank you, Angry Teacher talks about those a lot. And we had 3 $50 days. Now our average store, we were just looking at like what was our average month through June, and it was $295. So, second best month, over average, just a really, really great month for July.
Okay, so let's take a look at the views for the year. And so it technically is about 12 and a half months worth because we're going from mid-July, which is when I started the store, all the way through July of 2024. So July 2023 through July 2024. And what were the views?
10,508. So people be looking.
Yeah. I feel like all 10,508 of them should have purchased something.
True. That would have been pretty nice.
That's the only disappointing part. All right, so now we're looking at units sold for the year up through July 2024. And not bad. Okay, not bad. What was it?
1,166. It's weird seeing it all as a whole.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It is. It is indeed. Okay, now conversions for my first year on TPT. Once again, it's a good rate.
Yeah, it's 11%, overall with everything. That's pretty good.
It's interesting how that matched the math that we just saw in the last two slides.
It should match the math. Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, now is where we're getting to the part of the show today that I love the most, and that's the total earnings for my first year and a half a month on TPT. And really, I did not expect it to be anywhere near this. I don't know what I expected. Of course, you hope that you're going to do well, and I know that there are probably people out there that have done much better, but
this definitely exceeded my expectations. Even when I started, so he sold a few products, and I was like, oh, wait, let me see what average is. So that's why I started looking what is average? What does an average TPT seller make? Go Google that. It's not much. There's not much out there. There are some really good channels, and so I did look at a lot of those, but it was pretty early on. I was like, this isn't typical.
Yeah, and she's the one that started looking at all these other great sellers that are doing these videos on here and trying to figure it out. I didn't even think to do that because, I don't know, I guess my brain doesn't work that way. And then she's like, you should make your own channel.
And here we are.
Yes.
He hates me sometimes.
Sometimes I do because it's just a lot. And you know that as a teacher, it's a full-time job just teaching. So then doing this has made it so that it's a full-time job plus a full-time job. And I haven't even been able to play any video games. I really haven't in a year. I have not played at all. She's really disappointed about that. But there it is.
So, you ready? Let's give the people what they want.
I'm ready.
Total earnings for the year.
All right. It is $3,775.73.
That is amazing. We just took an Italy cruise, and I just paid
Not
off...
a cruise.
Not a cruise. A trip. We did
Next
not go
year
on
we're
a
doing
cruise.
a cruise.
And I just paid off our credit card, and that was a good chunk of it. I mean, that that was our Italian vacation right there.
Pretty much.
So
And
that's pretty wonderful.
And that's something that one of my colleagues said earlier this year, and because from time to time we'll talk about this at lunch, and they'll be like, "How's your store going?" And I kind of let them know, and they're like, "Well, that's a vacation right there," and that's true. I mean, we had this awesome 17-day vacation in Italy, and I don't know that it would have been a realistic thing to do without what I have made through this store. So
yeah, awesome, good job, babe.
More like you. Like, seriously, and it really is a total team effort here. It really is. Obviously, I know the history stuff, and that's kind of my area of expertise. And of talking about history, I do that every day as a teacher. But she's so good at all of the other stuff. And she's somebody who, if she doesn't know how to do something, like I'm like, well, I don't know how to do that, and I move on. She's like, well, I don't know how to do that, but people know how to do that, so I can do it. I can figure it out, and then she does.
You're sweet, thank you. No, but it also has made it so because you get to talk to your subscribers about history all day long, so he doesn't talk to me about it as much.
That's right. I don't bore her with my history facts, at least not directly. But indirectly, you end up listening to the videos over and over and over again.
I really do.
Now we're looking at the famous Mrs. Lewis graph.
I changed it up a bit.
You have. I like it better.
Well, I saw the tattooed piano teacher, I think that's her name, and her graphs were cool. I'm like, I am lacking in graphs. So I kind of took some ideas from her.
Nice job. So you can see August last year was a huge surprise, of course. I did not expect to have $400 in sales my first full month. That was a huge surprise. And then January was also a big surprise to have that be my best month. I didn't expect, after August of last year, didn't expect to beat August until the next August. And I've twice beaten it, as you can see. July is amazing. July, how we got very close to 500. Very, very, very close to $500 for the month.
We were wondering if we were going to break 500, but
we thought we might at one point, but we certainly didn't expect to. It's a lot more than I thought. I thought it would be a lot closer to June.
Yeah, really good work, babe.
All right, let's talk about reviews. Like I said before, or maybe you said, one of us said that I got 2 reviews in the month of July. And just a reminder, review products when you buy things on TPT. It's something that I try to do, and I do buy things from time to time as well, and appreciate those sellers that have put great products out there that I've been able to use as well. So reviewing is a great thing, and you get a little bit for it. I don't know, it's not a lot, but it will discount your next purchase if you do reviews. So let's share those really quickly. The first one here is on my second half of the year, first half of the year, I guess, semester 1, but it's starting in July. And this is from Kelly C., and she gave it 5 stars and said, "My students love this resource for learning what happened each day in history." And I truly appreciate that, saying that her students were very much engaged in this. And it's 5th grade classroom, so good to see that it's working well in that classroom. The next review is on my January product, my January Today in History, and this is from Kathleen R. Also very satisfied, also strongly agreed that students were engaged, and she said, "My students found this resource very engaging and easy to understand," and she was doing this with 9th graders, and a lot of those with disabilities.
I know, I saw that. That's good that it works with those that might have some learning disabilities as
well. And I will say at my own school, we have an autism program, and our previous autism teacher that we had for years, she was using this product, and we have a new one this year, and already she let me know that she wants to use it. So that's great.
That's very cool.
Yeah. All right, so that was July of 2024 and my first year on TPT. As far as a tip for the month, just something quick, and it's something that I've been feeling lately. Don't run faster than you have strength. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's a busy time of year with school getting back in session, and of course, it's also a good time to sell on TPT. But at the same time, you can't overdo it. Don't kill yourself for either of those things. It's important to take it all in stride. And anyway, so let's talk about what I'm planning for this month. The plan is to just stay the course, keep working on my YouTube channel, keep working on my products, making improvements to those, adding new events to my Today in History. So if you've bought this in the past, just know that I will be periodically posting new versions that have some additional events and have maybe sometimes some better explanations of things on there and better images. So I'm working on that. What else?
Yeah, that's bad. So he does that. He does that every day. He does it for his classroom, so he's going to do it for all of you as well. And so it's been really nice. Yeah.
So I'd love to know how you did in July. Also, please be sure to join my email list, or I should be saying our email list. Let's face it.
We don't bombard you. It's once a month. Sends out a little newsletter of just what's going on. So no big. We won't spam you. We promise.
That's true. And of course, I do have my daily history videos on YouTube that you can watch each day. They're related to the events that are in my signature product, my Today in History warm-ups. And I do an income report for the previous month, sometime in the first few days of that following month. And please be sure to like and subscribe to this channel. It really does help me out. And thanks for watching.
Bye, everybody.